TETRALITY is a 4 layers, 4 sequences plus 1 arpeggiator library designed to create instant ensembles patterns that follow the chords you play in a musical way. Each layer offers a list of 20 acoustic instruments. Many are the usual suspects like piano, acoustic guitar, and marimba. Others are less ubiquitous instruments like the kora, nyatiti, and swarzagam. When you play a chord, all active sequences will play at once. A divisi function is also available to assign each chord note to a different layer. There is a very handy panel here that allows the user to decide what chord note will trigger which layer. Each layer's sequence can be edited by clicking this button here. In this Sequence Edit panel, all the sequences parameters for this layer can be adjusted to taste. Here we find also sequence randomization function with different degrees of variations. A temporary non-destructive improvisation switch, which will alter the sequence making it less stale, with pitch and velocity changes. This function can also be triggered via these yellow key switches, and the degree of variation will depend on the velocity. There is also a variation button which generates ornaments of different complexity. There is also a presets button which takes us to the Sequences Presets panel with 75 presets categorized in rhythmic, melodic, and fragmented types of sequences. These latter type are more sparse and ornamental sequences. Upon clicking on the preset name, you can hear the sequence starting from the latest note you have played on your keyboard being played by the instrument of the layer you're working on. Sequences parameters can be copied and pasted to different layers. Sequences can also be shifted harmonically to create harmonies with different instruments. It's worth noting that each sequence timing can be altered with this menu here, so that polyrhythms can be generated with a selection of regular and odd timers. The centerpiece of this library is the automatic sound and sequence generation. In this section over here, the user can generate sounds and sequences with one click. There are also options to generate only sequences or to generate only sounds and all in between. Since TETRALITY offers 8 master scenes in which all parameters of sounds and sequences can be stored, this automatic sounds and sequences generation is able to also generate in all 8 scenes at once. So you can hit this button until you hear something that pleases you, and be sure that enough variations have been already generated in all other scenes. In the Scene Manager section, we can see the transfer options, so that all the parameters of one scene can be transferred to all scenes or copied from one scene to another. These parameters include the mixer settings, which we find here. In this panel, the volume, the octave shift, the convolution reverb, and delay amount can be adjusted for each layer. Also, with the pan control, we can adjust the stereo image of each layer with the option to place the instruments in the stage positions as they were recorded. In this section of TETRALITY, we also find the Master Option panel with the Master Convolution Reverb and other controls such as Master Delay Speed and Feedback, and Hold and Sustain for all instruments at once. In the Global panel, we can set the key and scale for each scene or for all scenes at once. Also, the main sync control is here, with options for straight and triplets fill and swing. A master arpeggiator is also included, which works in conjunction with the 4 sequences, so you can generate interesting sequences arrangements that include both engines. The Visualizer panel will help you to keep track of all generated notes. There is also a powerful mapping system that we can access by clicking on this icon over here, which allows to change the range and keyboard area for each layer, so that you can also play each instrument in its own keyboard zone, with no overlaps if desired. Lastly, each layer can also be turned off, so less instruments play at once. We can do so also by using these key switches over here. Each layer's sequencer can be switched off as well, so that the instrument can be played normally without sequence. There are even more things to explore in this library. Please make sure to read the manual, as it is a very deep library with a lot of features. Please make sure to watch the presets video, which will show off some of the amazing snapshots created by Theodore Chasilan Pro and TETRALITY's full potential. Have a great day. Bye.